All right, as a starter, please make sure that you've completed passage 3 of the ACT English test. The essential questions for this lesson are: how well do you understand the characters and the events in the romantic text we've read so far? How creative can you be, and how well can you support your ideas? The learning targets are to demonstrate understanding of romantic texts and to support your ideas with evidence from the text. So, what you guys are going to do first is you're going to pretend that Tom, Miss Walker, the devil, Hot Frog, the king, Tripetta, and nature are all contestants on either a reality show or a game show. And you need to tell me what the name of the show is, in what way they are competing, who wins and why, who gets last place and why, and what place do the others come in and why. Okay? So it's a bit of fun, but this is how you're going to be judged. I'm going to judge that you respond to the questions. So an A is that you uniquely, okay, so no one else's answers like yours, creatively and effectively address all the questions, okay, all of these questions. A B is that you creatively and effectively address the questions, but it might be things I typically hear or read. C is that you partially and or vaguely address some or all of the questions. And D is that you attempt to address the questions, but you may have some inaccurate information or misunderstandings. I'm also going to grade how well you use textual evidence, so details from the text. So an A is the examples or references to the text that you pull. It doesn't have to be exact quotes, but the details that you refer to are specific and they're well judged. Like, that was a good choice, yeah? Because some quotes are better than other quotes, and some details are better than other details to support a point. And I want to make sure that you have at least, like, you have multiple supporting details for each of at least two texts, right? So like you pull like two things from Tom Walker, two things from Thanatopsis, or two things from Hot Frog to support your same point, okay? Because it's harder to find two things than it is one. A B is basically you've got at least one thing from two texts, and the details that you refer to in those two texts are accurate and relevant, like to support your idea. A C is that you have some references to texts, although they may be vague and or relying on explanations to show their relevance. So maybe it's not a specific detail, but you've given me something more vague, right? I don't want to give you an example just in case. All right, a D is very similar. So you attempt to reference a text, but what you say may contain inaccurate information, misunderstandings, and or I might not be able to see the relevance of the detail, like reference or quote you picked. The last thing I'm going to judge is your understanding. So do you have an in-depth understanding of all the text, demonstrated by being perceptive, analytical, or thoughtfully considering ideas? Okay, I want to see that you understand Devil Tom Walker, Hot Frog, and Thanatopsis, right? A B is that you have a secure understanding of all those texts, and I know that because you've got some clear explanations of explicit and implicit ideas. So basically, things the text literally says and things that you can infer. A C is that you show me that you have a partial understanding of at least two of the text, maybe not all three. And I know this because of the explicit explanations or explanations of explicit information and ideas. So, what the text literally says. Perhaps you might tell me some implicit information, like things that you could infer, but perhaps not. A D is, again, very similar. So you show me that you have a limited understanding demonstrated by, perhaps some explanation, but there may be inaccurate information and or misunderstandings in there. Okay, so you're gonna do that one first, yeah? Then It should be something that I would say should take you at least 15 minutes to do well. Okay. Again, you don't need exact quotes. The second one I'm going to have you do is this one. So, villain is defined as a cruelly malicious person who's involved in or devoted to wickedness or crime. So, I want you to, minus a question mark, sorry, I had it as a question at first and I didn't change it, rank the characters from the best to the worst villain. The character who fits the definition the best is the best villain, and the character who fits the definition the least is the worst villain. What in the definition of villain makes you rank each character where you do? And those are your characters: Tom Walker, Mrs. Walker, the Devil, Death, the King, Hot Frog, and Geppetto. Okay? And again, you're judged exactly the same way. So make sure you respond to all the questions. Make sure that you pull textual evidence, okay, references to specific details in the text, and then make sure that you show me that you have an in-depth or at least a secure understanding of all three texts. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm super excited to read these because it's fun, okay?